You know how that goes sometimes.
Can you see? Do you need to move this stuff out the way?
Yeah, we'll move.
I need to move up closer.
We'll move all this side of the way.
I need to move up closer. It would be nice if we had him sitting back away from the table.
You want to set back a little bit?
We need to be back away from the table so we can,
Oh, okay.
so when we get the,
I can. Now, you want me to just pull it back, or you want me to?
well, that's, well, he can stay right up to the table right there where he is. I can just get on the end. And what I wanted to do was get it so we don't have to pick up a whole bunch of stuff before we get to him. Because when we get ready to edit it, we need to zoom it.
Right.
We'll need to maybe do some zooming and stuff too.
Now, we can also move the tables back
That's
that
right.
way.
That
rather
might be
than move
Yeah, let's just move the tables back.
Yeah, might
Just
be
slide the
easier.
tables back a little bit. Because I really don't need nothing in front of us.
Right. Table.
There you go.
Have enough room there.
Let's see. That's real good right there, I think.
All right. All right. You need to, all right.
This table needs to come down a little more. This one. That's good.
Okay.
That's good right there. Now, we're gonna need a microphone on him.
I'll need did we get off?
Mr. Johnson, we're doing some work on the Manhattan Project here. Would you, and you came to the work doing this area during this time, doing the Manhattan Project in 1943, 1944 time frame. Could you tell us or describe how you got here, how you heard about Hanford, and a little bit about how you ended up here?
My sister and her husband, Joe Williams, they was in California working at a plant, and they left there and come to Hanford. And when they got there, we started working the Hanford Project. And they come home in February, I think, and they were telling me about, and they told me about the job, and they asked me that I want to come go out there.
When you said they came home, where was home?
Alabama, Frenchburg, Alabama.
What was that in Alabama again?
Frenchburg, Alabama.
Frenchburg, Alabama. Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about what you were doing in Frenchburg before they came home and talked you into coming out here?
I was working at a crystal plant.
And at that crystal plant, what did you do there? What were you doing the work there?
Towing, working on crown.
And then could you describe, when you got ready to come out here, or getting ready to come out here, and in the transportation and getting out here, could you tell us a little bit about that? And then what happened when you got here?
My brother had bought a 41 Plymouth, and he and Joe was working on around places, and he gave me the Plymouth. And I drove the 41 Plymouth out here. And you want to know who come with me?
Yes, I sure like to know who we'd like to
Emma
know.
Brown, and Charlene, Dot, and I can't think of the other good.
And those were all relatives of yours, or were they just friends and relatives?
They was Joe's sister's kids.
When you arrived in the Tri-Cities or Pasco, could you tell us a little bit about what it was like, what you found when you got here?
Well, I found that the job was available when I got here. And I went to the job, and when I hired in, went to I was hired in as a cement finisher. And they didn't have no spot to put in the cement fence. They put me in labor, sweeping floors. And I got a card to go to the Army. And I went to the superintendent, showed him the card, and he told me, why you didn't come out as a finisher? I said, foreman told me they didn't have no spot for the finisher. He said, yes, we do have plenty of room for finisher. Where are your tools? I said, he back at the camp. And he said, bring your tools out in the morning. And I'll put you in the finisher. And he put me on the finisher. And I got the card from the go to the Army. To go to the Army. For 3 acres, I think it was.
On your living conditions when you got, did you live in Pasco, or did you come into Pasco and then go from Pasco out to Hanford, which is about another 40 miles? Mm-hmm. You lived here in Pasco, and then before you went on out to the barracks, or did you come in and just go on out to Hanford in the next few days?
I went out to Hanford. And my sister was running a little eating place.
Oh, that's the mess hall out there? Mm-hmm. Yes, and I believe that we interviewed her. She told us a little bit about the learning to do the juggling act, on how she could handle all the plate, all the food on her arm, you know, how they taught them how to do all of that. Towards the end of the Manhattan Project, when that was winding down in late 1944 and early 1945, could you tell me a little bit about, you know, did you stay here in Pasco, or did you go to Tacoma, or go back to Alabama and come back? Or
I went to Alabama, and I went down to the creosote plant, and the man offered me a job back. And I told him, he asked me what was I getting. I told him I was getting $1 an hour. Yeah. And he said, would you come back? I told him, no, I wouldn't come back for for 35 cents. I was getting 35 cents where I lived, an hour. Yeah. So I come back to Hanford, to Pasco. When I come back to Pasco, I bought a little place in Pasco, and that's where I live, at 321 South Front Street in Pasco. And I lived there for a good while. Then I decided to buy me a place and build a place of my own. I lived there on the place. Joe had a place there. I lived on Joe's place. And I bought some land, and I built a house.
Yeah, during the time you came during the Manhattan Project out there, I noticed there are some other people there, African Americans there, like my Uncle Daniel, Willie Daniels, and Vanish Daniels. My father-in-law, David Castleberry, also worked out there. And is that when you met those people for the first time, primarily Mr. Daniels? Because I know you guys were great friends. Is that where you first met him?
That's right.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about what you guys did at the social life part of it. Would you go to church, did you play ball, or what did you do?
Play ball. I would go look at them play ball. I couldn't play ball. I wasn't good enough to play on the league. But Vance and Daniel and the tall, bright man, I can't call him.
Noble Johnson? Was it Noble Johnson? Or? Okay.
Mayor and
Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't Mary and Zach Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
I'd forgotten about them, man. Well, and then you went back to Alabama, and so kind of like what my relatives did. They worked, and then they went back home, found out that, like you said, the pay was about like what you said, what I remember. And when I came in '47, it was kind of that way. And so knowing what was out here, so you came back out here, and so this is where you live since then. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Luzell, we're going to back up. I need just a little bit background information, okay? Now, what is your full name?
Luzell Johnson.
No middle name. Okay, what year were you born, Mr. Johnson?
1912,
1912.
May 11th.
May the 11th, 1912?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember how to spell the name of the town where you say you were born in?
Remember what?
The name of the town you were born in?
Finchburg, Alabama.
Is that F-L-I-N-C-H?
F-I-N-C-H.
F-I-N-C-H. Finchville, Alabama?
Burg.
Burg, B-U-R-G?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your parents' name?
Bias Johnson Francis.
Miles and Francis Johnson.
Bias Johnson was the father's name.
Miles Johnson, okay.
Bias. B-Y-A-S.
Okay, I'm sorry. And your mother's name?
Francis.
Okay. And were they born in Finchburg too?
I don't know.
You don't remember. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
3 sisters and 5 brothers.
Okay. Are any of them alive now?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
2.
2 brothers. Any sisters?
Yeah.
How many?
2.
2.
3.
2 brothers and 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What kind of work do you remember your parents doing?
Farm.
Farming. Did they own their own land? They're sharecroppers. Sharecroppers.
Yes.
Okay. So you came out here with your brother named Joe. Okay. And he had been out here already previously.
Yes.
He had come out here before and worked for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wrote and told you about it, and then that's when you knew you wanted to come out here.
He came home.
Oh, he came home. Okay. And do you remember exactly what year that was, Mr. Johnson, that you came out here?
33.
33? Okay. Okay, and then he went home, he came home. What did he tell you exactly about this area when he came home? What did he tell you?
Told me I could go to work and get more money.
He told you, did he tell you what kind of work you'd be doing?
Mm-mm.
He just told you you could come out here and get a job. And then as I understood it, you guys came by car.
Mm-hmm.
Did he come with you or did you come by yourself?
He came with me.
He came with you. Y'all drove the 41?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then after you got here, tell me exactly, Mr. Johnson, when you got here, how many other blacks do you think were here at that time?
Oh, it was quite a few working on the job, but.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. In 43? Mm-hmm. Now tell me when you got to Pasco, did black people have houses? I've been told that black people didn't have houses in 43. Did they have houses?
Yeah.
They did. Can you remember any of the blacks that were here when you got here already?
Mr. and Mrs. Coleman.
Mr. and Mrs. Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
I can't think of his name. But
Was Katie Mooney here when you got here?
mm-mm.
She was not.
Mm-mm.
Was Miss Arlene Johnson here?
Mm-mm.
She was not.
I didn't know them.
You didn't know them, but they could have been here. I see. Now, where did you live when you got here? Time you got here, where did you live?
I lived in the barracks.
In the barracks at Hanford. They were segregated.
I guess it was.
Blacks were in one area and whites in another.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't think there was, though.
Do you remember anything at all about the barracks? Tell me what you remember.
I remember we'll sleep in the barracks and get up and go to the mess hall to eat.
Get up and go to mess hall and eat. And how long did y'all work out there? What kind of work days did you guys have? Like long work days or just 8-hour work days or what?
8-hour days.
8-hour days. And the pay was $1 a day?
An hour.
An hour. And then And then, Mr. Johnson, when you were out there and you go to work and then you come home and you come back to the barracks and sleep, what did you do after you get off of work? What was the average day like? You didn't just go to work after 8 hours and go back and lay down. What did you do after work?
Go to a ball game.
Go to a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Negro the team that they had out at Hanford. Do you remember the name of it? Okay, anything else they did out there for social life other than the ball games?
I can't remember.
You can't remember.
Mm.
The lunchroom, was it like a cafe sometime too?
No.
At night?
It was like a cafe.
A cafe. They sold alcohol? They didn't? Didn't they bring in entertainers out there? Do you remember any of them?
A picture.
That's all right if you can't remember that. Okay, tell me about when the church came. When was the first time you went to a black church over here in this area?
I didn't go to a black church. I started a church in my home.
And that was Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that? About 54 years ago now, huh?
55.
55 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first black church in this area. What did y'all do for church before then? You just didn't go?
No, that wasn't the First Baptist Church. It was a holiness church. It was the First Baptist Church.
Oh, it was a holiness church here?
Mm-hmm.
How long had it been here? Was it here when you got here?
Yes.
And that's where the black people that went to church? Were there a lot of women working out at Hanford? Just in the mess hall? How long did you work at Hanford?
I worked until 1935, I think.
You mean 55? 1945.
When did the war end?
When the war ended. Then what did you do next after you went back home and came back out here? What kind of work did you get when you came back out here?
I did work out the cement finish hall.
Okay. Were there soldiers here during that time?
Mm-hmm.
Where were they living at?
Navy base and Big Pasco.
Were there a lot more men here than women during those days? 43, 44, 45?
With the soldiers, there were more men.
It was more men. What year did your sister come? She came right behind you, Sister Ray did?
Sister Ray? No, I came out here with them.
Oh, she was with you when you came out here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. How long were you here before you got married? Did you get married out here? You didn't?
I think I did get married out here, but I sent back and got my girlfriend, and we got married at the courthouse here.
I see. And you had, how many children did you have?
Just one by that wife.
How many do you have all together?
5.
All living?
Mm-mm. 3 living.
Just a couple more questions I want to ask you, if you can remember now. Just take your time on this one. What do you remember as the worst thing that was going on here when you got here for black people?
Drinking and shooting dice.
Drinking and shooting dice, that was the worst thing that was happening for black people. That's not too bad for some people. Okay. What was the best thing that was going on here when you got here? Beside the pay, I know you like the pay. What else good that when you got here and you first got here from the South, what was the best thing you liked other than the pay?
Ball games.
The ball games. Okay, Brother Johnson, thank you very much.